Hello learners, day November 15th ki manamu 555th birthday of Guru Nanak Garu we are celebrating. So on this occasion manamu will learn about the moral principles of the philosopher. Idi manak telsu that this is very important for our art and culture and history part of the syllabus. Kakapothe there is a small twist. When we see such kind of topics, when a philosopher is saying who belongs to history, we directly go and pick that up and put it in our history section. I'll show you a small twist. So this particular concept vachesi in 2023, guess what? E question where it is asking of major teachings of Guru Nanak and its relevance in the contemporary world. This question was being asked in your GS-4. అంటే మీ ఎథిక్స్లో అడిగారు. సో I always emphasize, I always say, whenever you're picking an article from current affairs, don't drift into one topic of the syllabus. Inter-relevance, inter-usage of the topic is very important. That is when you'll you will stand out of the crowd. So, ee question ni manamu moral philosophy we will learn on the occasion of 555th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak. As he is a very famous philosopher, he founded Sikhism. Alanti prelims perspective, ilanti konni facts untundi. You see to it that you cover this kind of things. Like when was he born? Ikkada when there was also a question. There is a question. See, who among the following was preaching when Lodi dynasty fell and Babur took over? When you study facts, when you remember the dates, you could have directly eliminated at least any one. At least two options ki you will come and sum down. This is your PYQ. It's not which we framed. It's a PYQ. So when you try to relevantly sum down your options, at least you will have two options left. Then later on, after you solving all MCQs, tarvata velli you can try to solve it. So what I mean to tell is, current affairs ni meeru enta baga relevance ka vaarte for multiple subjects, and when you link current affairs with your static subjects, you'll definitely stand out of the crowd. So for this video we will see the moral philosophy or whatever preachings has been done by Guru Nanak ji, and at the end I will give you an MCQ, try to solve it. Before starting, we have a small and very big announcement. We have started mana mains group 2 APPS ki sambandhinchina rapid revision, where we are providing revision plus test. See, manandarki telsu mock tests are very important before appearing for the real exam. That is when you can whatever mistakes have to be done, mock test lo meer correct cheskoni you can go perfect. Perfect is a very big word, but still you can go in the better form. Direct ga exam velladam kana mock test raayadam is what always been suggestible by the toppers, and ee classes vachesi it will be in your bilingual both in Telugu and English, and special emphasis would be on your budget. So economy has already started, now we will be starting polity as well. So any doubt regarding this test series or the rapid revision classes, you can contact us. So here said, we'll move forward. So we'll talk about the moral philosophies, what Guru Nanak ji has said. He has emphasized on ek onkar. Ek onkar ante enti ante to believe in one God. There is single God who is formless, and he is formless ante he didn't emphasize that you make a murti, oka murti tayar chesesi we'll go start worshipping. No, it's not like that. There is one God and he is formless. This will make one to awake their spirituality, spiritual awakeness kosam. There's no ideal form, there is no multiple gods. He said that monotheism is what we have to believe in, and he believed in. And this God, whoever is formless or whoever has the spiritual connection, he is accessible to all, irrespective of your caste, creed or gender. He emphasized on gender. Ante they believe in equality. There is no belief or there is no ritual where only men has to be participating. So gender equality he promoted. Equality and social justice. he rejected caste system and he rejected patriarchy very openly back then only in the 15th century. Very important. Appudu back then only he was emphasizing. That means he is promoting feminism. In today's world, this is directly linking to your feminism. So he rejected caste system. He said that there is no hierarchy, nothing. Everybody is equal. You come and worship the formless God. And patriarchal norms, whatever were existing during his time, one-nitni he challenged very openly. And he said that there is no superstition and ritualism. రిచువల్స్ కానీ సూపర్స్టిషియస్ కానీ ఫాలో అవ్వాల్సిన అవసరం ఏం లేదు. డైరెక్ట్లీ గాడ్ మన ముంగట ఉన్నారు. గో వర్షిప్ దట్ ఫార్మ్లెస్ గాడ్ అండ్ హీ ఈజ్ మోనోథిస్ట్ అంటే సింగిల్ గాడ్. వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. హీ రిజెక్టెడ్ కాస్ట్ సిస్టమ్ అండ్ హీ ఈజ్ promoting gender equality. This can be asked in your prelims question in a statement based form. Next, very important, 3 pillars of Sikhism. Till today, all the Sikhs, whoever follow him, will follow these 3 principles. He said, Naam Japna means you have to remember God. You have to be in that meditative mode. Meditative mode lo unnappudu you will have that spiritual awakening. Then you can directly connect to that formless being, whomever you are thinking to worship or whomever you are worshipping. Second, Kirat Karni means you have to live very honestly, and whatever the money which you are earning through your livelihood, that should be very honest, which is an integral part of your hard work, integrity and ethical practices. Ilanti points e kada meeru ethics answer lo rasedi. That is why it was been asked in your ethics question. Suppose aa question ni meeru history kaani art and culture perspective la deal chesi unte, you would have not even scored 2 marks. So they were expecting you to emphasize ilanti words: hard work, integrity, ethical practices. Idi evaraina rastaru. When you put Kirat Karni ane oka technical word, ilanti technical words raste, you will outstand the crowd. So he was emphasizing on this. Then Van Chakna means sharing with others. He was saying collective responsibility and generosity. In today's, he was asked in the question, they asked what is the relevance in the contemporary society. Idi collective responsibility, where do you hear always? You'll be hearing in the global arena whenever there is a topic of climate change. So back then itself he was saying of the collective responsibility. Today they are talking of collective responsibility to tackle climate change. So this is the current relevance where you could add it. Then you have to do seva, community service, langar, very famous. Even today it has been practiced. Even today we can see Sikhs coming out, they coming out and giving the giving food to people who are very needed, who are starving there. Irrespective of caste, creed, gender, everybody are allowed to go and eat food in there. That concept is called your langar, community kitchen. And you do selfless service. Do not expect, okay, service ichetapudu you should not expect something in return. You are providing it without expectations. That is when that is called the true service. Next, honesty and integrity. Whatever you do it with truthfulness and accountability. Uphold your honesty, ensuring actions align with your moral and ethical standards. Again, your ethics syllabus topic. So whole of the moral philosophy said by this great Guruji is your ethics syllabus. If you mention this kind of things backing the statement telling that this was been told by particular philosopher, why don't you score marks? Be accountable for whatever work you do, both private life law and public life law. Not like public law you are coming and giving all good lectures, but when going to private you are torturing your family members, you are torturing the neighbors and everything. That is not expected. Be accountable in your both private and public life. Compassion and forgiveness. Have empathy. Be forgiveful. ఎవరైనా తప్పు చేశారు, see every human is tend to do mistakes. When someone is doing mistake, they've come and they told that I'm sorry, or they apologize for whatever mistake they have done. You should be able to forgive. This is the most biggest power a human can have in him or her. So reconciliation, forgive, do not go for your violent actions, do not go for to go threaten him, kotesi, we go use abusive words. No, not like that. Forgive for whatever mistake the opposite person have done. Have some empathy towards others. Have empathy towards your in and around people. Humility and modesty. You should have humble conduct and you should be very simple. He advocated simple and contented lifestyle. Excessive materialism and luxury has to be rejected. See, materialism and luxurious life, consumerism, materialism, individualism is seen very high in the today's world. Ilanti concepts high aitunnappudu, we are trying to curb it down with the simple life. ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎవరైనా చెప్తారు, బట్ కమింగ్ టు అవర్ ఎగ్జామ్ రెలవెన్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు మెన్షన్ దట్ సో అండ్ సో ఫిలాసఫర్ బ్యాక్ దెన్ ఇన్ హిస్ టైమ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ హీ టోల్డ్ దిస్. వెన్ యూ బ్యాక్ అప్ యువర్ స్టేట్మెంట్ విత్ సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్, దట్ ఈస్ వెన్ యూ స్కోర్ మార్క్స్. See, preaching would be done by anyone. You and I know this kind of things. But when you mention with names like that, with weighted names, that is when you will stand out of the crowd. Humility, discouraging, arrogance, your pride, valuing, this kind of traits are to be seen. Ilanti traits they are expected to see in your civil servants. Bureaucracy lo kavalsindanta ide, so that మీరు ప్రాపర్గా పాలసీస్ని డెలివర్ చేయొచ్చు. యూ కెన్ ప్రాపర్లీ బీ ఏబుల్ టు డీల్ విత్ పీపుల్. అల్టిమేట్లీ యూ వాంటెడ్ టు గెట్ ఇన్ టు పబ్లిక్, రైట్? సో దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ట్రేట్స్ ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ అ bureaucrat or for an aspiring civil servant. Then harmony with nature. You have to be encouraging sustainable living. Contemporary relevance adigaru. Sustainably living is what he told. వాట్ ఆర్ వి ఎంఫసైజింగ్ టుడే? డైరెక్ట్లీ మనకు ఒక పర్టిక్యులర్ గోల్ అనే సెట్ చేసుకున్నాం, సస్టైనబుల్ డెవలప్మెంట్ గోల్స్ అని చెప్పేసి. బ్యాక్ దెన్ ఇన్ 15th century ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ హీ హెస్ టోల్డ్ యూ నీడ్ టు బీ లివింగ్ వెరీ సింప్లీ అండ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు బీ లివింగ్ sustainable. You have to have that sustainable harmony with your environment. Be responsible for every action whatever you have done. Be responsible. మనము మన రీసెంట్ కాప్లో వీ హ్యావ్ టోల్డ్ దట్ వాట్ ఈవెన్ ఇన్ ద రీసెంట్ వీడియో వెన్ వీ వర్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ సిఓపి అండ్ యుఎన్ఎఫ్సిసి, ఇన్ దట్ వీడియో నేను చెప్పాను దట్ డన్ ఇస్ డన్, వీ హ్యావ్ టు రివైవ్ వాట్ ఏదైతే అయ్యిందో దాన్ని అకౌంటబుల్ తీసుకొని దానికి మనం రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ తీసుకొని వీ హ్యావ్ టు టేక్ యాక్షన్స్ ఫర్దర్. దట్ ఈస్ వన్ వీ మూవ్ ఫార్వర్డ్. టేక్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ, డ్యూటీ టు ప్రొటెక్ట్ అండ్ ప్రిజర్వ్ ది న్యాచురల్ వరల్డ్, instilling the sense of duty for the future. Take responsibility for the actions which you have already done. Education and knowledge, pursuit of knowledge. You should inculcate the values and you should have the acquisition of knowledge by your personal and societal improvement. He also told that when you are pursuing knowledge or when you are in the in the thirst of acquiring knowledge, అంటే ఒక పర్టిక్యులర్ పాయింట్లో మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది దట్ ఐ am knowledgeable, I know something, then you go start preaching to others. That is when you improve your in and around environment as well. Then as a whole country or as a whole society, everybody will improve. Suppose imagine you are very knowledgeable, you have some kind of ethical, morality, everything whatever is required. మీరు ఒక్కరే అలా ఉంటే సరిపోద్దా, లేకపోతే అందరూ ఉంటే that is when the country will the country is said to be that it's very ethical or moral. So everybody in and around you are also important. Not only you but also spread knowledge to others. Critical thinking. Encourage to ask your questions, seek the truth with evidence and rather than your blind faith. He's saying, see, he's a philosopher. He's not saying నేను చెప్పిందే మీరు వినండి. No, he's not saying like that. You question me. You question everything whichever is in and around you. Question చేసి then you try to come to a conclusion. Do not blindగా faith పెట్టుకొని blindగా follow అవ్వమని చెప్పలేదు. Do not be a follower. Be the learner. Try to learn from a particular individual. Then you can impose that in yourself and impose on others. Impose is a wrong word to others, but you can inspire others. Universal brotherhood and unity. brotherhood, our fraternity, constitutional value, constitution lo mention ayindi fraternity. Humans are part of one family. You are part of whatever it is, whatever the national boundaries are, whatever religion you are belonging to, ultimately you all come under one umbrella, that is human umbrella. So you all should embrace the brotherhood. You have to have peace and harmony with international, our DPSP, our constitutional value. Peace is a very, very important thing in present world. We are seeing in and around violence happening. So this kind of philosophies are important. Ilanti points meeru IR lo kuda quote cheste, why don't you get marks? Back then itself our philosophers have told to uphold peace and harmony. Whatever philosopher name if you mention, that is when you will score the AG marks. So now we'll see for every philosophy, though we saw the contemporary relevance, oksari we will see now in the separate one. Social reforms. His teachings laid the foundation for significant social reform, challenging your oppressive structure ante caste, advocating for a just society, which is very important in today's time. Modern application enti? Today we are talking of human rights. Back then only he spoke about it. Gender equality gurinchi we are shouting on the global platforms. If we open our philosopher books, there itself it is written. All we have to do is embrace those philosophies, ante. And then sustainable development. These are all we are talking today. So modern applications. Cultural integration. You have to have the sense of unity amidst this diversity. And you culturally enta diverse unna kuda, you have to unite because you are on a single umbrella called human umbrella. India's pluralistic society ki this is very important. Okay. After listening to all, నేను ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ని స్లైడ్స్లో ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయలేదు, బట్ you guys can solve this question by simply eliminating the, what do you say, eliminating the options. See to it, మనం ఏదైతే కవర్ చేసామో you will sum down to one point that particular philosopher is explaining or sticking to ఒక point అని చెప్పేసి. So try to read the options and see to it whatever we have discussed, ఏ option relevant ఉంది with our discussion, then you can try to eliminate the options. Do let us know your answer. This is called your elimination technique. See, prelims lo knowledge will upheld, your conceptual clarity, knowledge will upheld, everything is there, but a tricks anedi kuda is very important for you to come down to sum down to your elimination or sum down to one option. When you're stuck between four options low, when you're stuck 3 to 2 options, that is when this kind of tricks will come in the picture and help you. So try to solve this. So this is all about your moral philosophies of Guru Nanak. So this is all about moral philosophy of Guru Nanak, and he is related to Sikhism.